Hydroponic as an advanced technology in tomato. Hydroponic tomatoes. Hydroponics is an economical technique of delivering fresh and healthy vegetables throughout the year. Hydroponic tomatoes grow their roots directly in water instead of soil. Adding a concentrated mineral nutrient solution to the water helps the tomatoes grow. Tomatoes are not only more efficient in their use of water and nutrients, but they can also help eliminate the vast majority of pests, disease, and eliminate related issues. What do you need to grow hydroponic tomatoes? You need an electric blowback and flow hydroponic system with a grow table, reservoir, timer, and water pump. You also need a nutrient solution, support stakes, some plant pots, and a substrate. Which hydroponic method is best for tomatoes? Most growers, especially beginners, tend to gravitate toward electric blowback and flow systems. These are seated in a simple way, allowing you to build your own system or buy an all-inclusive option. Also known as a flood and drain system. Electric blowback and flow systems consist of a reservoir, a water pump, a timer, and a flood or grow table. The system works by systematically flooding the roots of a plant with nutrients. Your water pump will flood the tray several times a day with a nutrient solution. It will then run back into the reservoir. The grow tray will house the tomato plant spots and have high enough sides so that the water can't overflow. All of this will be elevated on a tray stand which will let gravity drain the nutrient solution back to the reservoir. The tomatoes in the planting pots will be grown in an inert neutral substrate like expanded clay pebbles. Let's proceed to the Dutch bucket hydroponic tomatoes. A Dutch bucket system for growing hydroponic tomatoes is one of the easiest and simplest hydroponic systems. Tomatoes are the most common plants grown in this kind of system, also known as bato buckets, but you can grow other plants too, including peppers, lettuce, and more. In this kind of system, plants are placed in buckets lined up in a row. This can be regular 5-gallon buckets or specialized square containers. Each one contains up to 2 plants. This kind of system is especially beneficial when growing tomatoes because it gives them more room to grow. It's cost-effective and requires less work. It's an easy that requires minimal space and allows you to grow many large plants at once. A water line will extend from the water pump in the reservoir down the entire length of the system. Drip hoses will come off the water line to irrigate each plant. Your water can be equipped with drip emitters or constantly flowing, depending on your preferences. The nutrient solution will be pumped individually to each plant, flowing through the substrate and over the roots of the plant. At the very bottom of each bucket is a pipe and drain. The nutrient solution will flow from here back into the nutrient reservoir. What type and varieties of tomatoes are best for growing hydroponically? Determinate vines are the best for tomato hydroponics. They can be also grown in small indoor areas. Unlike indeterminate tomatoes grow to a set height. Flowering and bearing fruit will significantly reduce the growth of determinate tomatoes. Tomatoes can be categorized into 2 types, indeterminate and determinate. Determinate tomatoes are a bush type that will spread and sprout along the ground. Indeterminate tomatoes have no height limit and they will continue to grow and bear fruit. This is the varieties of tomato. In the first picture, it is called as Daniela. The second is the Mox Rich. The third one is called Thessaloniki. Fourth is the San Marzano, Azafran, and Favorita. Next is the nutrient solution for hydroponics tomatoes. Hydroponic tomatoes can be started from seed or seedlings. It requires a specially formulated blend of nutrients in order to grow healthy and strong. The nutrient solution you use will likely vary depending on the stage of growth your tomatoes are in. Use a blend designed specifically for tomatoes like 4-18-38. This will contain the right ratios of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Tomatoes plants need about 8 to 10 hours of direct sunlight a day, but many high-yield varieties need up to 18 hours. You can install LED lights, which are not only efficient but also effective at providing your plants with the full spectrum light they need. Most commercial fertilizers for hydroponics also contain essential trace elements like boron, iron, calcium, magnesium, and zinc. Be sure to look into the requirements of the specific type of tomato you plan to grow. Tomato plants need about 8 to 10 hours of direct sunlight. It is because tomatoes like lots of heat, you may need to heat the room up during the winter. Dampness and humidity are also factors, so as you crank up the heat, be sure to install a fan to help reduce the likelihood of fungal diseases on your plants. Next, hydroponic tomatoes light requirement. The amount of light a plant receives determines the level of photosynthesis. Light affects the quality and size of the fruit. Tomatoes need intense light for at least 8 hours a day. Some tomato varieties will yield better with up to 18 hours of light. Giving 16 hours of light can maximize fruit production. Best temperature for hydroponic tomatoes. Tomatoes are warm weather crops. They will perform well in temperatures ranging from 18 to 25 degrees Celsius. However, lower the temperature to between 12 and 18 degrees Celsius during the night. For best result, keep the temperatures between the recommended ranges. Temperatures lower than 10 and above 32 degrees Celsius can damage hydroponic tomatoes. A grow tent is a good choice because it will assist in maintaining the ideal temperature. It is also easier to control environmental factors with a grow tent. Conclusion: hydroponic tomatoes can in some cases be even tastier than those grown outside. Excellent tomato flavor is produced by an intricate combination of acids and sugars because you have more control over all the variables when growing hydroponic tomatoes. You likely have better yields too. They're juicy, they're flavorful, and when you have the right to know how, they're remarkably easy to grow. So that's all about the hydroponics as an advanced technology in tomato. Thank you so much.